your makeup has ever melted, separated, or look cakey, better stay here to the end of this video because this is the only tutorial. Okay, besties, let's get right into it. I've shaped my brows off camera, then I cleaned my face with a micellar water. I sprayed my face with an hydrating spray again so that it will bring back moisture to my face. I applied sweat block to my forehead and places I know I sweat, like my teeth. This will help you sweat less and seal your sweat. I'm also showing you new products I recently got, and I got this moisturizer. You can't keep moisturizer on your skin prep because without a good moisturized skin, your makeup will look cute. I actually just got this F2 and I'm using it as a primer as my base. I'm applying it on my T-zone first, where I know I sweat more. Before applying it all over my face, you could see that I'm avoiding my under eye. You don't apply primer directly under your eye. I'm actually struggling with hyperpigmentation on my face, so I'm trying to match my skin with the foundation, my skin and my face with the foundation. This foundation I picked was way too light for my face, but it was smashing with my skin, so I had to add a more dark foundation with an undertone that suits me. Yeah, I'm adding the foundation to my face. You could see how blended it is compared to the first one. So in your foundation selection, you should know that you should take this into consideration and blend it down to your neck. Don't drag, only dab. You could see how blended my skin is. I also just got this Juba setting spray, and I'm setting my face again just to blend everything together before going in with other cream products. I just got this cuff case too, and I'll be using my contour and blush cream from this palette. I use these two shades for my contour, and you could see how pigmented it is on my face. Then you blend. Blending is the key to having a flawless makeup in this industry. In fact, if you are doing your makeup yourself, blend it very well, blend it down. I've applied my blush here off camera, and I was just trying to blend it on camera. Yeah, my phone went off, so I had to do my setting powder and concealer off camera. I was showing you the powder I was using to set my face. I used Fenty Beauty here to set my face. After using the real setting powder, the pressed powder I used was Patchy to set my face. And my brushes are from Glam. That's what I was trying to show them. I was just trying to set all over my face with the brushes, those places that were not concealed and places that are concealed, like my under my eye and my T-zone. I use a triangle puff powder to press them, to set them so that the powder will get applied to them very well, just to make sure that the application is smooth and flawless. By the way, I did my cream nose contour too off camera, so yeah, I'm just trying to blend the concealed parts and make everything flawless. I applied my setting spray again to lock down everything I've been applying, the powder, the cream, to blend them together. Then I went in back with the setting powder, the setting powder I used initially to bake. When applying it, less is more. Once you apply it on your sponge or your powder puff, dab off the excess before applying it on your face. Anyway, I'm using Huda Beauty as my setting powder. Then I went in back with powder nose contour. It's a nose contour, but it's in powder form. I was just applying powder on the cream contour I've done before to make the nose smashed. I'm doing my powder cheek contour now. Then after my cheek contour, I did my blush again just to bring that light back to my face. And I'm using a lifted comb just to lift my face. To be honest, the trick to having a very good blush placement is to place it above your cheekbone and blend upward. That's the only trick. Don't let anybody lie to you that you should do your cheeks anyhow. Now I'm doing my eyeshadow, and my eyeshadow is from Middle Brows by Honey's Beauty. I'm doing my upper lip first. Some people go in with their transition colors first, but I'm doing my deep brown first. I start from the outer corner. That way it's easy to just build from the outer corner to the inner corner. You pick, build it to the outer corner, then you blend it inwards to the inner corner. Now I'm going in with my transition color, and I'm using that shade from same palette for my transition color. Now I just blend it in on my upper lid. And now for the colorful parts, I'm using Party Girl palette from Annie's Beauty also for the colorful lower lid. I was using this shade from the palette as my main color, and I was just placing it from the inner corner to the outer corner. You see how I was doing it. I was just placing it gently. I wasn't really dragging. I was not even dragging. I was just placing it gently. It wasn't really popping, so I had to add an orange shade on it so that it will really pop. You see it here. That's where I added the orange shade on it. You will see how obvious it is. Yes, so just when it comes to eyeshadow, just play around with it. I was done here. Now it's time to line my lips, and I'm using my lip liner from This Beauty. It's a Nigerian brand. I'm trying to clean off the wet lips that I used before, and I successfully lined my lips here. I was kind of feeling it, but not really feeling it. Again, makeup is do you. Just do whatever works for you. Because I was feeling like it's okay, I don't need to. In fact, I really don't want to add anything to it, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I just had to add a proper wet lips to it, and I decided to change my mind. I added the lipstick to it. You could see me blending it here, and I left it alone. I did not add lip gloss to it until later. Now to my eyebrow. I added my brow tamer first to lay my brows. I laid it properly. Then I added a setting powder to absorb the shine. Then I started drawing my brows. First thing I did was to line my brows. Yes, I gave it a shape. I lined it in the shape I really want it to be. I lined my brows, then I filled it in. You can always go in back to adjust the brows until you get the shape that you want. We are still struggling with it. I filled in my brows with This Beauty pencil. This is like the OG pencil in Nigeria. And I concealed it with Born This Way. Two-faced Born This Way rather. To give it that definite shape. To make it more obvious and to make it neater. Just like to clean the unnecessary parts of the brows you drew. And now I'm shading it. I'm cleaning the excess. Immediately you do one face, immediately you do one side, just clean up the excess before going into the next one. Now that's my finishing spray. Yes, I applied my finishing spray first before applying my lip gloss. After my finishing spray, that was when I applied my lip gloss. Trust me, if you apply your lip gloss after your finishing spray, your lips will not break. Even if you eat something, your lips will not break. And it was after my finishing spray, I also applied my mascara, and voila, this is the finished look.